Okay, grade nines, this is topic 8 notes, last set of notes before you write your unit test coming up in probably 2 or 3 days. So topic 8 deals with pains and gains. So biologists, government, ordinary citizens, we can all play a role in halting the decline of biodiversity. So some things we want to look at is, how can we reduce pollution? How can we lower our biological footprint? How can we do more with less resources? Okay, and so some of the things we have are zoos or institutions. They're not designed, they get part of their funding from people who go and pay to see the organisms, but really they're there to educate the public about the need for conservation and to do some conservation. Okay, so they're there to protect and preserve endangered species. Through their breeding programs, they help to maintain the biodiversity of the organisms that are at the zoos. And they were also the first to initiate and support research on biodiversity. So they do play a role in maintaining biodiversity of the organisms, mostly animals, through the zoo programs. And of course, they're there to educate people as well. We have the same thing for plant biodiversity. They're called seed banks. And what they do is here's a picture of someone at the seed bank, and basically they store plants, all seeds from all different parts. Like ours in Canada would have lots of different seeds from Canadian plants, and they would be stored in more than one place. And so they collect the seeds, and so if any plant ever went extinct, they can take the seeds, regrow them, make some seeds, and try and reestablish that species. Why seeds? Because seeds could stay dormant for up to 100 years, so it's a lot easier and effective and less time consuming to store seeds than to try and set up greenhouses and store the actual plants. And then there's global efforts. We have all these treaties that we have to try and protect endangered species, like this Convention of International Trade of Endangered Species, the CITES one is one of the big ones, and that made it illegal to import or export any organism that is endangered. Okay, and so this works. This is good. It doesn't work perfectly. I know some people who are in enforcement, and they say that there are unfortunately some ways around it, but the main premise for this is to try and prevent the trade. And then in 1992, there was a Convention on Biodiversity, and when the nations got together, they decided to set up protected lands so that they would not be developed on, and this would give organisms an area where they could go, and they would be free from human influence. Okay, and then we had the Kyoto Accord, which was to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. There are some countries that are opting out of these things. The one to the south of us could do a better job at protecting organisms and reducing carbon dioxide emissions. And then we have groups like World Wildlife Federation and Canadian Nature Federation, Ducks Unlimited, that are all working to try and bring issues to the forefront so that people are aware of what we need to do to try and maintain biodiversity on our planet. And I believe that is the end of topic 8 notes, and that is the end of outcome number 4. And you have a unit test coming up really soon, so please make sure you study.